Matt, just want to follow up on Saeed and Rabia question regarding this attack on WCK convoy is not an isolated incident. There have been attacks on convoys before, on UNRWA's storage facilities. People queuing for aid in Gaza have been also targeted by the Israeli forces. And now you're calling them for an investigation, you're calling them to change to make some changes so this incident doesn't happen again. But don't you think that the U.S. soft approach toward Israel in this war also led them to get away with it, for example?
So I would
do that.
Oh, sorry. I would disagree with the characterization. We have on a number of occasions pressed them to do more on deconfliction measures, on protection of civilians, and they have taken steps that have been important in most cases, nearly all cases, not enough, but steps that have been tangible and that have produced results. But we want to see them do better, and that's why we'll continue to engage with them on that.
But do you think it was better enough, let's say? I mean, the northern Gaza is on the verge of famine already. Aids are not coming in for a while now, for months. You're pressing the Israeli counterparts. It seems that doesn't yield results anymore.
So I will say that you can look back at the history of our engagements with the government of Israel and show where it has produced tangible results. And that includes in the immediate aftermath of October 7th, right up into the recent history, starting with the first trip that the Secretary made to the region when he urged the government of Israel to open Rafah, and then the President came 2 days later and cemented that agreement to open Rafah, which allowed humanitarian assistance to get in. We then engaged with them to urge the opening of Kerem Shalom, which is an important step to allowing more humanitarian assistance to get in. The same thing is what led to the opening of the 96th gate in the north, the same thing that led to flour coming in through Ashdod, the same thing that is leading to the opening of a maritime route to get more humanitarian assistance in. When it comes to deconfliction measures, it was our involvement that led to them to implement a humanitarian pause, not just the pause of 1 week, but 3-hour pauses with 4 hours notice in the early days of the war when they were bombing neighborhoods, oftentimes with kind of blanket notices, but not with any kind of specificity. And it was our involvement that led them to start offering those pauses. It is our involvement that led to them offering, as I said earlier, specific neighborhood evacuation orders rather than just these blanket orders. That said, in all of these cases, we want to see them do more. And we want to see them do better. We want to see them to do more to let humanitarian assistance in and to protect civilian lives. And that is why we are consistently engaged with them, from the President of the United States to the Secretary of State to our team on the ground and everyone in the United States government who works on this matter.
Well, my last question about the statement that issued by the White House yesterday and President Biden's statement regarding this attack on the latest account on the convoy. The president sounded outraged and heartbroken and blamed Israel that they are not doing enough to protect aid workers. Does this language signal a change in policy, or just a statement regarding this incident?
It was a statement about this incident, but it's not a change in policy because we have always, as I said, consistently been telling the government of Israel that they need to do more to protect aid workers and civilians and journalists. Now, we're glad to see them taking additional measures now. As I said, those measures were overdue. We've been urging them to do them for some time, but this has always been the policy that we have clearly communicated them that we want them to follow.